By now, everyone knows that Mike Rhodes has officially left VCU in favor of Penn State. So let's talk about that real quick and let's get opinions. And I've got several takes I'd like to make. So we'll see how long the average viewer of this listens and watches before either gets pissed off at me or just clicks to the next button. But if you do like it, comment below. And if you disagree with any part, also comment below. But keep in mind, we're trying to keep an open mind here and about the reality of the situation. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment below. Here's my take. Yes, Mike Rhodes left for Penn State. 3.7 million reasons why he left for Penn State. Yes, during his press conference, 6 years ago, he used the word family. He used the word home in describing VCU. Yes, does the average fan on the internet feel burned? Probably, and absolutely yes. Here's the thing, and this goes across borders. Maybe people can fully relate to this, maybe you can't. But if, for example, Peter from your work left your company for Inotech to work for some guy named Lombard, you'd be happy for him because he finally got out and he probably moved his way up. He's no longer stuck in accounts receivable or accounts payable or in production management or quality assurance. He's now moved his way up, okay? That is the reality. He probably made a decision that benefits him, benefits his family. And in every other walk of life, we would fully support that. Difference is, now we're talking about our team, okay? I've been a VCU fan since the 1982 season. I can remember as far back as then. A lot of viewers are even more passionate, maybe younger, maybe older, okay? Now here's the thing. This is not a job from most people's point of view, okay? It's not a hobby and it's not a passion. It's a way of life. And if you don't understand the fact that it's a way of life, then you have no business talking to that person because you just can't relate to them. You just can't understand why they are upset and feel the way that they do. They feel hurt, they feel burned, okay? There's gotta be a common ground somewhere in between. Should Mike Rhodes 6 years ago have had the foresight not to say the words family and home? Well, this was family to him, and this was home to him. So you can only blame him but so much, and wanting more. Here's another reality of the situation, and VCU's got a little bit of a problem on hand. Not hiring the next coach. We'll talk about him in a minute. It's the Atlantic 10 Conference. This has become a stepping stone conference. First time in how many years in NCAA tournament history did we not have multiple bids? Look at all the people transferring out from the league. Look at the people using this as a transfer portal stepping stone. Look at the quality of play throughout the conference this season. VCU won the conference by 3 games? And there was nobody else even remotely close to them in the standings line, and they had to beat them to even have a chance to get in a, it wouldn't have been a large bid, in the automatic berth to get in. The Atlantic 10's in a position right now where they need to show strength. Right now they're exemplifying weakness, and that's a problem. Because now VCU, when they play their non-conference schedule, it's gotta be perfectly picked out next season. And I know they're going on the tournament, and you're just hoping everything else works to their favor and that these teams have great seasons, because if they have mediocre seasons and you're in a one-bid conference, you're once again playing for that automatic bid, regardless if you've done everything else right. If you have one mediocre loss, you're done. And that's a problem. So now how does VCU correct that problem? Well, they either have to get bigger and provide more money, or they have to grow and try to get into the next step. The Big East would be a perfect location if VCU wanted to say, hey, we want a 10-year coach here. We expect to have a coach for the next decade. Remember when we were saying just a couple months ago, the internet was saying a couple months ago, fire Mike Rhodes, and now we're mad that he leaves because he won a conference championship. So you can't have it both ways. The love-hate relationship is there across the internet. I have mixed emotions as well on this hire. I understand the business side of it, because at the end of the day, it's a business decision, because this is his full-time employment, is head basketball coach. Penn State, maybe that's closer to maybe his stomping grounds instead of some of his family's stomping grounds. I don't know the gist of the reasons why specifically Penn State called to him, quote unquote, and I'm not going to speculate that. All right. Bottom line is, he made a decision. He left. He gave us 6 years, took us to the tournament a few times. His style of play exemplified the culture we sponsor, which is Havoc. Now let's transition into the new coach. Ryan Odom is originally from Hampton, Sydney, so he's in your own backyard. He was the UMBC coach who beat UVA. He's now been at Utah State. And listen, you could line him up in a room with my two brothers and him and say, which of one of these three is Odom? And I still wouldn't be able to guess correctly, right? I don't know what he even looked like before 24 hours ago. So I don't know much about him, but what I'm reading from real sources, not internet hearsay. He's an offensive mastermind. That's the phrase I keep hearing over and over again. I don't know what about the defensive philosophy. I haven't looked much into Utah State in the past couple of years, okay? I know they were on the bubble in the Mountain West, and they were in that middle tier of the Mountain West, which was the superiorest of all the mid-major conferences this past season, okay? So he was getting his team to that level. So they were an offensive mastermind. I don't know about the defense side of things. So I'm curious to see how that will handle. Now, will the same always be said about the transfers as well? Right now, he's already on the phone with every single player. He's texting every single player. He's probably trying to get there in person if he already isn't, and trying to save the players from entering the portal and leaving. Once he does that, he can establish his own and try to bring in. But at least on record, this looks like a great hire. Now, what's going to happen over this course of the next couple of weeks and months, and what's going to turn into season number one, to be determined. But what will be interesting is in 2 years or 3 years from now, when Penn State comes to the Siegel Center, what's the response going to be? Is it going to be, we love you, Rhodes? Is it going to be people dressed up like FBI agents welcoming you back, Wade? How's the look going to be? New coach, Odom, welcome. And let's see if you can continue giving VCU its top tier performances in the A10 and beyond. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment below.